Welcome to all of our listeners across the Upper Cumberland. This is our BLTV show for February 9th, 2021. Shared information and accurate information has been critical throughout this ordeal, throughout this crisis, and has led to many successful accomplishments across the county as we've mitigated and tried to contain this virus. Our numbers are trending downward, but the new variants and mutated virus versions may prove to be a new challenge down the road. We're still advocating the same advice we have been given and have been giving for over the last 11, almost 12 months. Wear your masks, social distance, avoid any kind of spreader events, use good personal hygiene, and please respect the health and well-being of others. Our health department continues testing with the assistance of the National Guard. Vaccines are being delivered every few days, so please be patient. They are calling. If you go online, a new portal is going to be opened up soon for people to apply for the vaccines and get a schedule. But please be patient. So I'll be giving a shout out to our health department workers in my county commission meeting this month. But once again, demand is still exceeding supply, not only in Warren County, but across the Upper Cumberland, across the state, and across the nation. As more volume is added to our supply chain, the distribution of the vaccines will continue. There may be the possibility of some mobile sites in Warren County and additional sites where vaccinations can be given. So we're awaiting all of that from Nashville and Washington as we move forward with the vaccine protocols that we have now in place. There's still a lot of unknowns about this crisis. There's still a lot of unknowns about where business is going. And the governor's speech last night for the state of the state, Tennessee has fared better than most states. We're in one of the top 7 states whose economy is still strong. And so tax collections are up above what they were last year, and most businesses are open, although there's still some challenges, once again, with entertainment, with schools reopening, and with overall general well-being of the national economy is also at stake. You know, we've got a change in the way we do business, and businesses are having to adapt and adjust, or once again, it's survival of the fittest of capitalism. Some will die. And so with new remote work taking place, with the new gig economy, we'll be moving forward with new ideas, new initiatives, and new approaches. So we have all kinds of programs out there to assist business. The governor talked about the Tennessee Business Relief Program, supplemental surge dollars. There may be new stimulus money coming from Washington, new PPP money. So let us count our blessings, cross our fingers that we'll return to normal soon. The economy will rebound, and as a region in the Upper Cumberland and across the state of Tennessee, we'll be able to once again maintain a strong economy, build new opportunities, and grow business and job and workforce development. There's a quote that Einstein gave one time, and in the middle of difficulty lies all opportunity. And so opportunity lies ahead for many new business endeavors as people rethink the opportunities that are there. Today we have Tyler Asher joining us on BLTV. He is the director of the Small Business Development Center at the Development District. So it's part of our economic and community development across the state of Tennessee through ECD, and that our one of the functions of the Development District in Cookeville for the whole 14 counties of the Upper Cumberland. So I want to introduce Tyler today and let him give an overview of some of the opportunities that are out there for businesses moving forward, some of the agencies' programs that are available to local business, and a little bit about some of the trends that he sees coming ahead of us. So welcome, Tyler.
Thank you, Mayor Haley. Thank you for having us on and to discuss the exciting things that are happening here in the Upper Cumberland.
So if you want to give us a little update on economic activity in the Upper Cumberland and how businesses are doing.
Absolutely. So from what we've seen here in the Upper Cumberland, the business activity has actually been very strong. I don't think the pandemic has affected some of the businesses in a way that it's affected other parts of our region. Most of our trades and things of that nature have exploded. They've busier than they can be. They can't find help, and they're months out on jobs. So from that perspective, have really exceeded expectation. Some of the businesses, such as your local restaurants, they've been affected, but I think when you're a good entrepreneur, you find ways through adversity to make sure your business stays afloat. And so we've worked with quite a few of them to get a website up and going so that they can continue to do online ordering. If we had another shutdown, they are up and running. They could do online ordering, curbside pickup. So when you have a time of uncertainty, this allows your entrepreneurs to really shine because they find ways to adapt to those changing circumstances. So all across the Upper Cumberland, we've heard this from people that restaurants have probably been the most infected, and then probably retail is probably right behind that. But most of them are learning new ways, new things to do things, being innovative, being forward-thinking now. So it's very strong across the region. If you are a business listening, there is PPP funds out there available, and for those of you that don't know the PPP, that's the Payroll Protection Program from the Small Business Administration. It's administered through your local bank. If your local bank has decided not to participate in the second round, or you didn't get the second round and you were left out, I would highly encourage you to reach out to us. We will find a lender that will work with non-clients that will be happy to help assist you with that. That's part of what we do here. Also, if you are a business and you're listening and you think, man, I really need a website to help grow my business, we have some CARES Act money left over from the first round of stimulus that we can pay. We pay contractors that will help get you site and get you up and going so that you can be more involved. It's the first time we've ever been able to offer this type of service. So I would encourage you to reach out to us. If you think you're struggling or think you may be in a position you don't know what's next, meet with us. It's what we do. Myself and my counterpart, Megan Smith, have both owned businesses. We understand where you're at, where you're going and where you're at, and what we can do to help you get there. We'll talk about other available resources through our partnerships that we have with USDA, TVA, Tennessee Tech, where we can provide interns and things of that nature. So I would highly encourage you to reach out to us, whether you're struggling or you're expanding. That's what we're here to do. We're here to give you a third-party objective, to give you a strategic plan to help move forward during this time.
And the PPP money has a lot of that has been directed in Warren County. We've had tens of millions of dollars, both to small and some fairly large businesses, and even farm operations and lumber operations as well across the county. So that was certainly welcome relief for those businesses for the payroll protection plan. What are some other things that your office and the development district can do for local business?
If you were looking, maybe you didn't get the economic injury disaster loan through the Upper Cumberland Development District, we have the revolving loan fund. We have our own disaster loans that we have developed and that are going out. So if you needed some additional working capital and that you were affected by the virus in this, we would encourage you to submit an application for that. You can reach out to my office and get that directly, that application. The phone number is 931-520-6081. That would also be something else we can provide. We also have the technical services side of things. So if you need help with the social media strategy, everybody is moving to that. We can help develop a strategy of that. Of course, all of our services that we offer are free. We don't charge anything for our services. If you need help, like I said, with your website, we have people that we would pay to do that. If you needed accounting help, maybe PPP has taught us one thing that a lot of people didn't have their books in order, and so we have independent contractors to work with who can help get books in order to apply for the second round of PPP. And then also, if maybe you didn't set your company up correctly through an LLC or an S corp, we have attorneys that we work with that would be more than happy to give you that advice as well. And so there's just a lot of free services that we can talk about and discuss. Those are just some snippets of what we can do and bring to the table.
I don't think most local businesses realize the variety of services that the Development District and even UCHRA can provide to the counties of the Upper Cumberland. The money is there, the resources are there, the trained staff is there. It's just a matter of reaching out or connecting the business or the business owner with you or someone else within the department. So we still do have a couple of struggling businesses. Some of them have been really hard to adjust to a new mindset. moving forward. So, I've had several companies reach out to me. What can we do? What resources are there? I've shared your information with them, and I know you've assisted several of those. I've got a couple more probably to give you some names and some contact numbers with sometime today or tomorrow, who have contacted my office and asked for what's available, what's out there. So, as far as advice for struggling businesses, besides reaching out to you, what are some things that you would tell a struggling business to start looking at, or trying to adjust, or trying to have a different mindset moving forward?
My biggest advice would be to take a deep breath, step back and look at what you're currently doing, and if there's something you're currently doing that you can just tweak in a different way to make your business continue to go or become more successful or advance during this pandemic. Quick example: if you're making donuts and kids are at home because of the pandemic, there was a donut shop here in town that did build your own donut. Well, they didn't buy any extra inventory. They didn't do anything differently. They just packaged what they were doing differently, and it exploded. We had another business very similar. They made jewelry. Well, they were going, sales had slacked off. People were at home. People are still at home. They did build your own jewelry with your kids. And so they had all the packages. They had everything there. They just kind of tweaked what they were doing to help survive this time. That would be my biggest advice, is what you're doing now. How can you just make a few little changes, not retool, not bring in new equipment, just kind of redo what you're doing so that you continue to survive. That would be my first biggest advice.
I've had a lot of people reach out, and everybody's frustrated. A lot of people are stressed, and the not knowing, I think, has been one of the hardest things. But a lot of people have been making decisions about business purely based upon emotion, and that's probably not the best time to be making emotional decisions and knee-jerk reactions to a challenge. It really is something that people need to embrace and look about it, like we said before, as a new opportunity to just rethink, or reset their momentum geared toward the economy the way it is.
Absolutely. And I think too, when you have a high level of unemployment that we've experienced over the last 12 months, you also get a high level of entrepreneurship where people decide, hey, it kind of pushed them over the ledge of, I want to start my own business now. I got laid off because of this, and so it propels a lot of people to start their own business. And we're here to help you start your own business. Maybe you have an idea. Maybe you want to do this. Maybe you see that there's something missing in Warren County that could benefit the whole community. This is the perfect time to start. Right now, there's no better time to start than right now.
And as our whole economy gears up toward artificial intelligence, digital formatting, this gig economy where people are taking multiple jobs just to make ends meet, or just because it fits their lifestyle better.
Correct.
There's got to be some new opportunities out there for people to shine, and we've seen quite a bit of that, and we're hoping with the drop in unemployment and people rethinking the way they do business. I know a lot of companies, are thinking about where they're going next, particularly factories, whether it's going to be robotics or limited staff or rethinking the way they do business. But, with electric cars coming and a retooling of the auto industry coming as well to accommodate those changes, I see great opportunities there as well. So,
absolutely.
And so we're trying to partner with our school system. I have our school director here as one of our guests later. And so our CTE courses, our partnerships with Motlow and TSU, and our TCAT, the new rule initiatives that the governor is pushing forward, it to me just makes for a win-win, proposition all across the board for us to be partnering with agencies like yourself and other state agencies and federal agencies like USDA and TVA moving forward as our economy starts to basically readjust and accommodate the changes that are necessary, plus moving into a new digital world that's going to change the way we do business forever, I think.
Absolutely. I think you're going to find a lot of businesses now just push them over the edge, and it will continue, to be successful for them.
So when we look at moving forward, are you aware of any new programs or any new initiatives or opportunities that's going to be coming out of the governor's office or ECD that we should be aware of right now?
Currently, if you own a venue grant, the shuttered venue grant will be coming from the SBA. We would expect to get some news on that. We have a phone call with SBA tomorrow, so hopefully they're going to give us some updated news on the shuttered venue grant. So wedding venues, live concert places, there's a grant that's going to be coming available for those. We don't have all the full details on it just yet, but I fully expect to get those hopefully by tomorrow, next week.
And I'd appreciate you sharing that with me because, here in Warren County, we have Cumberland Caverns Live, and all that's been on hold, and concerts rescheduled, and so it's put a damper on entertainment, not knowing, how crowd sizes and people's participation in live music venues, moving forward, what that's going to be. So, I'll be interested to see the rollout on that new program and whether our local venue would be able to participate in that. So that will be something good to share with the owners and with the venue managers. So we will be looking forward to that information as well. I know the governor is pushing rural development in a big way, and we've been seeing a lot of trends in Warren County. A lot of people moving from out of state into Tennessee. They can work remotely now. The cost of living in the large urban centers is driving a lot of younger people, millennials and younger, into rural areas where there's recreation, where the quality of life is there, where they're still able to access Wi-Fi and having fiber. And I know the governor's pushed big on broadband, but we're at BLTV, and of course Ben Lowman has been a godsend and a blessing for our community for many years. Being able to stay connected, and so we're hopeful that we're attracting more and more people, professionals, young folks to move to the Upper Cumberland region and take advantage of our economic business opportunities and our lifestyles and our natural resources that are here.
You see a lot of trends of this, especially coming from the populated areas moving to the more rural counties. People like to relocate where they recreate, and I think that's big, especially with this push from work from home. We have a lot of the broadband here, and so you're going to have a lot more push for those people to allow people to work from home where they can work from anywhere. So I think you're going to see a lot of changing trends over the next 24 to 36 months.
And I think we'll all be anticipating that the good news we keep hearing from Nashville is more resources are directed toward the rural communities for economic development. As we kind of start to close here, have you got any parting words, any words of wisdom, words of hope, words of encouragement to share with our listeners today?
I would tell you right now that there's a lot of things that are looking up. There's a lot of big things that are happening in Warren County. Mayor Haley and I are working on some things. There's a lot of positive outlook. I would tell you that the light's at the end of the tunnel. People are learning to adapt to this. People in Upper Cumberland are resilient. We've been through a lot over the last 12 months as Upper Cumberland as a whole. So I think that from my perspective and what I see every day, there is very much light at the end of the tunnel. I think we're very close to I'd like to get back to a new normal as possible. But I would tell you, from a business owner, hang in there, take a deep breath, come see us, let us give you advice on a third-party outlook. All of our services are free. We want you to succeed. There's no more excitement than we get for you to succeed, or there's the aha moment of something clicks, or it's a new marketing thing that we can help you develop. We want to help you. We're here to help you. But from our perspective, there's light in the tunnel, and we're very close. And,
a lot of our small retail places are actually doing better than they did before with just walk-in customers by doing online sales and advertising and new marketing strategies just to cater to, the clientele they already have, but also expanding to new clients and new people walking in later when the stores open back up again. So, as far as doing business, I've told a lot of people, it won't probably ever be the same exactly again. Yesterday's home runs don't always win today's ball game. Babe Ruth said that. So, a new approach, new way of looking at business, new opportunities are there. And one of the big things that I've stressed, and it's been part of our success formula, is working together as teams. So, our federal national teams that are out there, USDA, TVA, our state agencies as well, ECD, Department of Tourism, the governor's office, and our development districts and UCHRA districts have been phenomenal in their assistance and help during this pandemic. And so they were before, they have been during, and I anticipate that those collaborative projects and initiatives that we have started here will continue, particularly through workforce development and training of the next generation of workers to come out of the Upper Cumberland region. So thank you, Tyler, for everything you do. I've appreciated your help and assistance, and we will continue to move on and keep this team effort and work together as much as possible to get some of these programs rolled out again. So,
absolutely. Thank you, Mayor Haley, for having us.
Thank you. Today, we also have joining us on BLTV, we have Dale Humphrey, the CEO of River Park Ascension St. Thomas Hospital, and Mr. Grant Swallows, who is our Warren County Director of Schools.
Thank you very much, Executive Haley. Good morning, Warren County. Our COVID-19 update today starts with the United States at over 27.1 million cases and now 465,000 deaths. Tennessee has almost 746,000 cases and over 10,500 deaths. As a state, we've performed over 6.4 million tests and with a current positivity rate of 8.6%. The number of hospitalizations in Tennessee continues a downward trend, thankfully, from its peak of 3,344 patients on January 6th to 1,294 cases currently hospitalized. The number of patients in the ICU is also down from its highest point on January 5th of 798 patients to our current total of 386 COVID-positive patients hospitalized in our state's ICUs. Warren County stands at 5,266 cases, and we have had 66 deaths. Warren County has had over 34,600 tests performed, and our positivity rate is now tracking lower than the state at 6.9%. In addition, our 14-day average of new cases reported per day is at 10.8, which is down from 21.6 for the prior 14-day period. At St. Thomas River Park, over the last 7 days, we have averaged just under 6 COVID-19 positive patients hospitalized per day and had an average of 4 ICU COVID positive patients per day. We are still dealing with acutely ill patients. Our ICU is still currently full with other types of patients. Sadly, we have also now had 27 patients die at St. Thomas River Park Hospital due to COVID-19. We have administered over 300 monoclonal antibody infusions for our patients who were within 3 days of testing positive and kept many of those patients out of the hospital. On the vaccine front, good news that on February 5th, Johnson & Johnson applied to the FDA for emergency use authorization of its single-dose vaccine, giving us 3 tools in the fight against COVID-19. In Tennessee, we've reported 849,000 vaccines have been administered. In Warren County, we have administered over 5,300 vaccines. At River Park, we received 700 vaccines 2 weeks ago and have been vaccinating high-risk patients and patients over the age of 70 who have communicated with their primary care physician that they would like to receive the vaccine. We are calling and scheduling these patients to come and receive their shot. As the state has moved into Phase 1B, which includes school and child care facility workers, River Park will work to help vaccinate those who are eligible if we have vaccines available at that time. As you can see, we are moving in a positive direction, but please continue to follow the masking, distancing, and hand hygiene rules, and do your part to get us beyond this pandemic. These tactics will help prevent the spread of the new, more infectious variants. Thank you for your attention, and God bless our community. And now I'd like to introduce Grant Swallows, Director of Warren County Schools.
you, Mr. Humphreys. Make sure I call him the right name this time. Messed that up a couple weeks ago. I apologize to him for that. So thank you again for that update. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about the schools. I'm very excited to talk about the state of our health report in Warren County schools. We have seen a drastic decline in our numbers after taking a very conservative approach after the Christmas break. As of today, we have only 14 students that have tested positive and are in isolation. We have only one employee that has tested positive and is in isolation. We have 95 students that are quarantined, only 5 employees that are quarantined. While we don't want anyone to be sick, we are very happy that those numbers are very low in our school system currently. That's less than 0.02% of our student population. And so as many times as I've come on here and said, please follow the guidelines, I want to brag on our students and our employees and our community. We are doing some positive things, which is allowing us to be in school. Now, there's a lot of things that go into that. We're having snow days. We're having several opportunities for students to be away from each other. So while I say that we're doing well, please, let's do not let our guard down. We need to continue to do all the things that we have to do to make sure that we're staying healthy and continuing to have positive momentum. It is our goal to be in person school the remainder of this year, and so we need everyone's help to be able to do that. That includes any gatherings that are taking place in our facilities, including tonight at a basketball game. I know that the governor said a couple of weeks ago that he was lifting the restrictions that were around sporting events. Now understand, that was just Executive Order number 74, and I've talked about this before. That was a more restrictive environment, and that limited only immediate families being able to attend sporting events. So again, I want to say, while he said the restrictions are being lifted, there are still restrictions in place. We have limited the capacity of our gymnasiums to 1/3 capacity, and we're asking that you would follow that. Inside those gymnasiums, we're asking that you distance and wear a mask. That's not too much to ask for our student athletes to be able to participate. So I know the Pioneers and Lady Pioneers take on Cookeville tonight. Huge game. The Pioneers have an opportunity to win the district with a win tonight. So I hope that we'll be able to go out. You'll be able to go out, those that have tickets, through GoFan and support. But those that go are responsible and spread out in the gym. Wear your masks and cheer on our girls and boys to victory. With that being said, I do want to talk in conjunction with what County Executive Haley was talking about today with business. We are thrilled also. Great things are still going on in our school system. We were thrilled about a week ago to learn that Warren County High School was one of 94 schools statewide to be announced as a Tennessee Pathway certified school. That's actually happened before. We had 3 of our programs of study that were announced last year. They were mechatronics, nursing services, and welding. That happened last year. And then this year, our machine services and our culinary arts were added to that list. And so what that means is that we have worked really hard at the high school to prepare our students to get credits while they're in high school, but then also we have prepared the way post-secondary for a seamless transition from the high school to a post-secondary institution to where students can continue in that certification. So again, when you talk about 94 high schools statewide only being recognized out of more than 300, I think that speaks very highly to the quality of work that our high school is doing and our district is doing, and so very proud of our CTE program. It is National CTE Month, and so we want to highlight the great work that they're doing. And also just, it's great to share good news that's going on and the good work that's going on even during a time of COVID. Again, thank you for the opportunity to give you an update, and we look forward to continuing our positive momentum throughout the rest of February and throughout the rest of this semester. Thank you.
As always, we want to thank our guests for today and thank Ben Lohman as well for sharing information that is pertinent and keeping our citizens and residents well informed as we move forward. It's been a challenge. It's been an ordeal. It's been a crisis unlike anything we've ever experienced before. My preparedness team has worked diligently as a team. Their proven leadership has had a great effect upon where we are right now and where we'll be going in the future. I remain an optimist. Even though it may have brought out the worst in some people, there's been a remarkable journey that's been laid in front of us. People have embraced it, done their part, and we will continue to do so. And even though our numbers are trending downward, as Mr. Humphrey said from River Park, don't be complacent. Continue to do your part. So like Mr. Swallows has said, to keep our children in school, everyone needs to do their part. It's a small thing to ask, to wear the mask, to do social distances, to protect our children, protect our teachers, protect our government employees, essential workers. The challenge will continue. We know that. It may be a few more months before the vaccines are available en masse and we have the herd immunity that we've been talking about. The mutated variants do propose a challenge, but with the new rollout of vaccines, particularly from Johnson & Johnson, which is one shot, it doesn't have to be the cold refrigeration process in order to distribute. It gives us even greater hope. So as we move forward as a community, I want to thank each and every one that's done your part. Once again, my emergency orders will stay in place till the end of February. The governor will keep his emergency orders and I'm sure renew those. That's how federal funding and continued programs and resources are channeled to the state and to the local communities. County operations will continue. We now got admin building open on Fridays. The reduction in numbers across the board has allowed us to free up some staff members. And so the drive-thrus are still open. The drop boxes are still available. The online options, I tell each and every one each week, if you've got questions about the individual offices and operations, what you need to bring or the operating hours, just call that office or call my office at 473-2505 and we can direct you to which is the appropriate office for you to call. City operations continue as well. They have a walk-in up window, payment for payments there at City Hall. Their operations are open as well. And so I want to thank every government employee from the state level to a local level, city and county, that have done their part to keep essential services, government services available. So each and every person that's played their part, it's been an important process, a learning curve for many of us. If we've had to shift around folks, close down departments due to this virus, and redirect resources as best we could. So thank every one of you and our essential workers in particular. It's a remarkable community that we have here in Warren County. We have much potential and progress that we've made over the last few years, and we will continue on with your efforts and with your support. We've been recognized across the state for our merits. Mr. Swallows also gave some credibility to that with the schools receiving numerous awards and shout outs across the state for our efforts to try to keep our children in school, but also for our workforce and training programs that are there preparing the workers for tomorrow. The governor's new rule initiatives will be shared with us soon. More resources will be available, grants and assistance in health, criminal justice reform, and economic development. So we anticipate more help and assistance as rural communities grow and thrive and prosper. And the Upper Cumberland is setting the pace for the rest of the state at this particular time. In the meantime, proven leadership through our preparedness team and those elected officials and the collaborative efforts that we have made with all of our team players have brought us through the worst of this pandemic. And so we will continue to strive to mitigate and contain as we move forward and bringing back that sense of normalcy. A little quote I'd like to share with you today. It says, "Growth is never merely by chance. It is the result of forces working together." And so together we will build a better tomorrow for all of us. We are America strong. We are Tennessee strong. We are Warren strong. Take care and be safe, Warren County.